What's good, family? It's your girls, Queen Koni and Jeid the Jedi, with another next level conversation with transformative insights and endless waves of inspiration. Welcome to Bits of Tea, Life After the Release, an eternal outpouring of goodness.
Yes. This is, what a day. What a week.
Day, what a week. What a month.
Y'all, where do we begin?
I know, right?
Right? We had some show notes that we did not have. We forgot them. We do not have them currently.
Straight to the tea. But you know why? Straight to the tea, because we were told today earlier, sidebar, that to plan our creations doesn't feel good to us.
Absolutely.
So we need to express ourselves when we feel inspired.
I love that.
Our way.
Absolutely.
And it just, reminded me of wow, we really tried to be so structured.
We were fitting our show, our previous shows, and even all the way up until we began season 5. We had been trying to fit this structure into the show, and it always seemed to go left field
every single time, every time, every time, down to the motherfucking journal, bro. How easy can it get?
Exactly, and that's what I love about us. This is what I love about even our show. We've told people countless numbers of times how this is our therapy.
Yes.
Right? This is what we utilize. Right? To just inform community, tribe, folks that, guess what? We're human too, okay? We are, we're all on a journey.
Yeah.
We're all on a journey.
That part, that you brought us home. I was like, okay, where are we going now?
Look, you know how we do.
If you are new to the show, first of all, thank you for sharing space. This platform was created, like Jeid said, for us to come together and have our own expression of therapy. Where we could just come to the table with raw, authentic conversations that we be having by ourselves individually and together, as lovers, as partners, and sharing these conversations, which we've been doing. Shout out to soundmindandbodywellness. We've had the honor of having these types of conversations with all the beautiful people that rock with us, support us,
Period.
what I mean? Invest in themselves, that, really take their journey serious. And so we've beta tested.
Yes.
One thing about me, or even better, I know a beta test hate to see me come in, because I'm going to do it.
Absolutely.
And so
the researcher in you.
Yes. And so we've beta tested this experience of sharing these types of conversations, and what we've seen and what we experience is truly life-changing. And we're talking about on a subconscious, energetic, emotional, spiritual,
say that
deeply intimate level.
Yes.
And so we are excited to be back where we love to be.
Right here.
Right here.
Right now.
Right here. It was always here.
It had been.
Yeah. And so today, let's dive into what we've been doing, like we always do, right?
Absolutely.
We always just go over the recent experiences that we're present to. Okay, what is the intention, and then what's the action, and then what's the result?
I'm telling you.
Intention, action, result. What is it? What is that? And so we were led recently to get serious about getting back into our routine.
Absolutely.
Let's talk about that real quick. We all know what to do, yet we find ourselves not doing it again. And I say again because we be knowing that, we fell off, and when we was on, we was outside.
I love that, because we admit it all the time.
We was outside, okay? And then we go back inside.
Yes.
And then we get to a point where we want to go back outside.
Yes.
And the thing that, gets us outside is the routine, the ritual, the thing that you are committed to for your own well-being. you know, before you give yourself to the world, you're giving yourself back to yourself.
Yes, you are.
You know, like really connecting with God and universe and ancestors and nature and people and all the things. So
it's been a plethora of things. Yet let's, like you say, let's start from the beginning, like we always do.
Let's start from the beginning. Yeah, you guys, if you're rocking with us, make sure that, you know, you have your pens and your paper, because trust me, like you listening to this conversation and aligning with it and feeling the energy of it, you are going to have your own breakthroughs. Yes. You are going to gain clarity on that question that you've been asking for. Absolutely. You are going to see how to break that cycle. You are going to remove yourself from undesirable life experiences, the ones that you are done with. If y'all feel me, share your thoughts, let me know. Because I know I'm not the only one. And if you are listening to us right now, it's because you are actually meant to be here. Right? You're meant to be here. Again, it's divine timing. Okay. Yeah. All right. Yes. Yeah. And those of you who've been rocking with us, we love y'all. Y'all already know the vibes. Like, y'all already know the vibes. Tribe. So so let's get into it. So we recently said, you know what? We are going to recommit and, you know, and realign ourselves back with the elements we know for sure work for us. After much beta testing. Years. But it was always the same type of things. It was just on and off. On and off. Like the cycle, you know what I'm saying? Like you be elevated and then you got to get grounded again. Then you got to, you know, and so, fighting with survival and flight. That's what we're doing, you know, fighting with those things. That's why it's back and forth, up and down, right? So the decision, I would say, life after the release, and I would say it's the decision that we had made to actually be in this eternal outpouring of goodness, right? Our decision to be like you said, get serious about our routine and what it is. We would always have conversations and sit outside. And the one thing that I know that was consistent about the conversation is the fact that we get up early in the morning together. We have our tea, what have you, right? We're meditating together and we are coming up with, we're basically in the lab with one another and we're dissecting ego. We're researching. We're asking one another questions. We're calling out behaviors. We're in the lab, yo. And we're connecting the dots. We're gaining clarity. We're having releases. Like the work is really being done. Absolutely. Yes. Our idea of it, at least. Absolutely. Yeah. So the seriousness of it. So you know how, again, what Koni always says, we research. All right. Thanks to our mentors that are always there. Brother Panic, Professor Melanie, etc. All right. Listen, getting into that science, get into Brother Panic science. Here we go. What a ride. There's so much in the story. You guys are going to hear multiple times, like the same story, but there's different stories within that same story. There's layers to it. Absolutely. I'm fast forwarding this right now. So what ended up happening is he mentioned an author, David Cooper. Yeah. That's where it started. I started and began to research David Cooper, and lo and behold, to me, I found something that spoke to my inner child. It spoke to my, like, oh my gosh, this feels like this is about to be some type of Harry Potter, Golden Compass, Narnia type of stuff, right? Some magic, right? It spoke to my inner child. So what I ended up researching is Sigil, his book, Sigil Magic, right? Absolutely cool. Basic steps on how to bring in or call in, magnetize, you know, the things that you desire, right? Right. Lo and behold, in our plethora of books that we have, including ebooks, this book was there. It was in our electronic library. Wow. Right? And then that's all she wrote. I began to read. I read the entire thing. Mind you, I read the entire book. That's how I know that I was interested. I read the entire book in a day and a half. Yeah, you ate it up. I ate it up. Then I began to experiment, put out my intentions, draw out my sigil, and then here we are. And the sigil magic is super. So I have a perspective that all of the things that I become aware of as far as a tool or a technique or a practice or what some may call like things that you do in your rituals or your routine, I have a perspective of like, this is a tool. And if that tool feels good to me, like, and how I know it feels good is because I'm already visualizing as I'm being taught the tool, the result of it. Like I can feel that, you know, I can almost see it. And so when I have that connection to a tool from wherever, I align with it and I see immediate results. Immediate results. And that's the truth. Like when you start to, there comes a point, right, when you're on this journey and you're doing the work to heal, you're doing, you know, you're making those choices to be a better version of yourself. Right? You start to notice there's less stress in your life. Let's acknowledge the facts. We start to notice that. We start to notice more peace. We start to notice more laughter, more pleasure in our bodies. You know what I'm saying? We do notice that. It happens. And so, you know, with any tool that now like I'm becoming aware of, because I'm on this side with a different perspective, like the filters have been like, you know, cleared away or they're clearing away. It just feels good. And the Sigil Magic came right on time. Like so freaking fun to know that you can have an intention, get it out, put it on paper with words, take the letter, you know what I'm saying, the first letter of each of the words, and freaking create a symbol because of the science that we learned, right? You
Absolutely.
There?
The science as far as the three things that basically imprint or make an impression on the subconscious mind. Shout out to Brother Panic. And that is 3 things. 1, trauma. 2, symbols. 3, repetition. Right? And then that's where you begin to create the magic is there. We've already been through the trauma. This is why this season 4 on moving forward is life after the release. You can catch seasons 1 through 4 and actually understand our story and understand through just our speech exactly what it is that we were going through at that time. And then the layering of it was almost the same conversation, like Koni said, yet it was us breaking through these patterns. So season 1 through 4 is all about that. The life after release is literally us now receiving the eternal outpouring of goodness. And this is through, I'm telling you, 4 years, 4 seasons.
It felt like hell.
It feels like that. It feels like that because the emotions are running amok. The
emotions are running amok. The emotions of running amok. Can we stay on that for a second?
Okay.
Emotions running amok. And this is happening amongst the collective. It happens to all of us. Nobody is exempt from the story that I'm about to express. You know? Emotions running amok. We were in, I mean, and we've been through situations, y'all have been through situations where, you know, you're in this experience and the behavior of someone doesn't feel good. And it's not your intention to have that exchange with them. You know what I'm saying? Like we've all had these experiences where like emotions was running amok, whether our emotions was running amok or the other person's emotions was running amok. And so I want everybody to become more aware of your own emotions because it really does alter your behavior. We had a moment where, you know, we implemented our tools because, you know, we were in an exchange where, you know, someone's behavior switched immediately and the expression of anger was what we felt, right? And we understood that, oh, there's nothing that we did. There's just the fight or flight amongst the collective right now, the hurricanes, all the stress.
Absolutely.
And so we caught it. However, because it was an emotion, we still felt the charge of it in our bodies.
Absolutely.
Y'all listen, I'm telling y'all what it looks like to do the work. I'm telling you the all of the things that are required of what we did.
Say that.
You know what I mean? So we were aware that, oh, this feels like anger. This communication, what's coming through the communication feels like anger and it's not ours. And so before we addressed the situation directly, we decided to go to the park because we felt the charge. Ego was already ready to pop off and really serve. And really serve. You know what I mean? Because
let the emotions run amok, bruh.
First of all, who are you talking to?
Right.
You know, first of all, who are you talking to? This is not the energy we are giving you.
Right.
You know? And so ego was wanting to, feel away, feel the
Absolutely.
anger.
You can feel it.
Y'all, to be empathic, because a lot of people claim to be empathic, but I don't know if y'all really understand what
Break that
means.
down. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or like what that experience is like.
Yes.
So like to be empathic is to be sensitive to energy, period. There's no parameter around that. You know what I mean? You could be sensitive to energy in a room full of people. You could be sensitive to energy via text messages on your phone. You know what I mean? Like you can be sensitive to any type of energy at any type of time.
Yes.
And when you are sensitive to energy and you can feel it in your body, it does create a different thought pattern or a thought wave, because now your body's being pulled in a different direction. So if you're not careful, you can really get lost in a sea of a lot of other emotions that don't belong to you, or that you were never even on in the first place. And it happens so subtly and it's so familiar that by the time you know it, now you're in a cycle.
Man.
The same cycle that's been happening.
Absolutely.
I don't know who that was for, but me, obviously.
Absolutely. Us. Absolutely. As always.
Yeah. So emotions running amok is a thing. And when you can acknowledge yourself in that emotions running amok expression, then it is what it is. You can talk your shit because you are acknowledging your own.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not just the person that you can see it in, it's you too. It's you too. And so to do the work is having these types of conversations.
Absolutely.
To do the work is to implement your tools when the life experience requires it. It's not for play.
Right.
You're going to have the real life experience to implement that tool that you're using. To do the work means that you're using tools.
There you go.
So if you're out here claiming that you do the work, and y'all, please beware, tribe.
Be aware.
If people are out here just speaking about, like, literally, oh, I do the work, and they're just on go with the spirituality, love and light, and that lingo, that language that they use. Be careful, because those of us that are really doing the work, we're not out here yelling it from the rooftops that we're doing the work, because we're in it. You know what I mean? We're in it. We're not yelling. We're not, even when we connect with tribe, we're not over here saying, we're not telling them that we do the work, because if you do the work, we already know.
We can see
You're
it.
already gonna know.
Yeah, you can see it.
It just is. It's a connection. It's a feeling.
Yes. It is a feeling.
It is a feeling.
No.
But yeah. So that was that on emotions running amok.
Yeah.
Beware, be present of your own emotions.
Well, it always brings us back to the current outpouring of goodness and what we've been doing. It always, so that was a part of the eternal outpouring of goodness right there. And within this, I'm going to take it there again. It's like within this vortex that we have created, we saw the situation or this experience as we caught the cycle within this experience that we were going through, right? That we were moving through or growing through with another individual. And thankful for the experience, because we were able to catch within us the things that ego.
Y'all, let's get into it. Yes. Exactly.
Ooh, I got you. Y'all already know how we be doing this.
Right. So so you said so I was telling y'all how we went ahead and transmuted this this alchemy, or transmuted the anger.
Yes.
So we went to the park, right? We went to the park so that we can release the energy out into the earth. Right. We walked around in nature, we talked it out, we did some laps, we got some exercise in, sweat a little bit, you know what I mean? And that's what we chose to do, to like release the energy, because it needs to be released.
Absolutely.
So we got it all out then. We talked our shit, rah, talk it out, get it out, you know what I'm saying? And regulated our nervous system.
We did.
Because when you feel the charge, when you're empathetic, you feel that charge, guess what? It's going to trigger fight or flight. It's automatic. That's just conditioning.
And how you know, and like you said, and how you know too, let's go back to that part is, and meaning, listen, y'all, give me a second, because the words, the stuff be coming to me really quickly. And then conscious mind be want to come in and mess the things up and start thinking, okay, so I'm working on this. All right. So giving you guys tangible evidence of like what being an empath is. If you're having a great day, right, and you rocking and you know how you feel in your body, and you ain't did nothing, but then you come across an email, a text message, or a phone conversation that had a charge, and it actually attempted to alchemize your feeling of goodness. You're on this frequency. It altered it, right? That's how you also know. That's how you know that's not your energy.
That's a good catch.
That's not your energy.
I like that perspective.
Yeah.
Definitely.
It's not yours, because you were already rocking and rolling. And that's why we had to go walk around and get that out. Absolutely.
And what happens sometimes, y'all, is that we don't release it. Like, we get the charge and we don't do anything with it. And that's suppression, because it feels familiar. And so, yeah, good catch. Very good catch. I love that. So yeah, we went to the park, we released our energy or whatever, and then we just continued to process it. And in our processing, y'all, it wasn't just what we can see in that person from the email, right? It was what we felt within ourselves. Yes. So then we flipped the switch. You know what I'm saying? It was so many layers. We
pointed the finger. We pointed back at ourselves.
Every checked ego every time we wanted to justify, every time we wanted to
defend, be offended.
Every time we literally was like, no, it's ego.
Yes.
We checked ego. And when I say ego is slick as hell.
Every time.
Slick as hell. Peeping up. And every time we was like, hell nah, you sit down. This is not how we're going to do this. This is not how we're going to feel. This is not what it is.
We've already felt this and been here.
We're not. This is not what it is, bitch.
That part. Thanks.
That part. So, we came to the realization from what we felt, right? And this email follow us. We came to the realization of our own distortions that we had been working on this entire time. This was like the final piece of the puzzle. Like, this was the opportunity for the final alchemization of this cycle. Yeah. That was, for me, generational, and for you as well. Okay. And so in the experience, in the pain that was expressed, we were able to catch our own and make a choice right then and there, utilizing our tools on how to alchemize it. And when I say the results were immediate, I mean the results were immediate to the point where, like, this is an example. We chose to have a conversation direct, with the person who was involved, because that's what we do. If we say we love you, we're going to have a tough conversation.
Absolutely.
We're not going to judge you. You know what I'm saying? But we're going to have the conversation because you warranted it. You know what I'm saying? You wanted it. So let's do it. We care about you. And so we did that. And Jeid just like, oh my gosh, she just alchemized it to the 10th power. Because then you was like, you know what? Not only do we have the conversation out of love, but we pour love back in and remind her of like, hey, look, this doesn't feel like you.
Absolutely.
This is the emotion in your body. So she can see like, yo, this is the pain that's there still. In this moment. This is not how you want to feel, but it's coming up for you.
Absolutely.
And we took that and we did that, and the results was love. It was all love and gratitude.
We didn't take the opportunity to tear somebody down, even if we are wanting to be tore down, or even if we were, you know how we go into like conversations and things, and I don't know if y'all did it, but I know I did rehearse many conversations in my head, exactly, and it starts out rah, but then you begin to check yourself, but still you go into that conversation of wanting to be understood and wanting to be, you want to be right, and period. And we've all done that, and I've definitely done that. And to actually sit down and take heed and just be like, you know what, I'm not about that life. This is not what I'm wanting to put out there. It's like to put somebody down, or to prove a point, or to even feel like I need to defend myself, feeling like my character is being diminished. And I really had to sit back on that one and be like, girl, can't nobody do that. You can't. Don't allow somebody else to take your power. Like, why would you want to get into a back and forth with any of this?
It's not true.
It's not true. So if it's not true, then there's no response. There's no response. There's no reaction. There's no rah.
Because it's truth is truth. Like
if it's true, I'm gonna.
It's true.
There you go.
Truth is truth. You don't have to defend. You don't have to say anything. You already know. And it's like you're right.
You're right.
And in the words of Brother Panic, release yourself from the argument.
Period.
You're right.
You're right.
Release yourself from the argument.
And go on, continue doing what you do.
Release yourself from the argument, and y'all, it's so much easier said than done. Trust me.
What's this practice? It's been years of practice.
But you're gonna have the opportunities if you're not already. You're having the opportunities already, and you're doing an amazing job. If you hear, you listening to this, we already know you're the caliber of where we try.
You're aware.
We share the same
you acknowledge
frequencies. Yeah, we understand the language. So I already know that you guys are surpassing these opportunities with flying colors, and implementing your tools, and that's why you're here. Because this is quantum. The stuff we talk about, you get results ASAP, and it's amazing to witness. It's amazing to witness, truly, because it's not about like external materialistic gains, y'all. It's not about that. It's not about that.
It's what you
a lot
love
of y'all
to do.
have that and are still, struggling. Are still not struggling, but like stuck in these cycles, and you're doing the work. So we get it. We are also doing the work. Yeah. So we had the conversation and ended in love and gratitude, and so much more confirmation has been coming from that expression. So much confirmation to do what we love to do and stay where we need to be.
Yes. And I want to touch on real quickly too. There's so many layers of stories. Like I said, you're all going to hear this in many other episodes, but because there's so much and it all relates. There's even in our conversation right now, it's everything that we're saying is just about this eternal outpouring of goodness that's taking place. And let me say this real quick before I go into the story, is I also discovered, within my own experience and saw for myself how simultaneously at the same time that we are feeling that things are going absolutely terrible, on the other side, things are going, exceptionally well. And we get blips in moments of those spaces. We just are distracted by what I would like to call our traumas. We're distracted by what is going on currently within our world, and it's all the negative things. But we do have blips and moments of those times being in bliss. Right? So it all happens simultaneously at the same time. So all we got to do is just simultaneousely
at the same time. I don't think you have to say it
I don't have the same time. Right.
Simultaneously.
Right.
I was like, if she says it again, I'm gonna have to say something.
That's funny, y'all. She's like, she's the wordsmith over here. She's like, girl, if you say it one more time, say it again. And I did, and I did. Oh my God. And that's how I know that. Listen, y'all, the eternal outpouring of goodness is always there. It's always there. Just tapping in is where it's at. And this is me. First of all, let's go to the story real quick. The discovery. First of all, me and Koni, I was just I presented the idea of let's begin our ritual again. Let's begin, but let's really infuse it with intention. Let's really infuse it with that. And then let's do our thing in the mornings, the ritual. So she was down, and I love that. She's a ride or die, honey. Okay. She's like, let's do it. We did it the first day, and the next thing I know, we're riding bikes, we're doing all this wonderful things. I'm still in the moment. We get back, we're having a great time, and it's adventure. We get back and we're starting to settle in, and Koni and I love to do this thing where we sit outside and we just have deep conversations, right? Making love all day. Okay. And she says, she begins to bird's eye view the entire experience from that day. And everything that day was so fun. It was so amazing. We saw ourselves, me and and Koni and Kimmy, the family, riding bikes. We had been talking about that, and the opportunity presented itself. And it was 2 days worth of amazing fun, right? A plethora of things were happening that was awesome as well. A lot of evolution. Yeah, so many amazing things, right? Yeah. As Koni began to so eloquently speak about the day, she's like, wow, we literally one day did our ritual and saw immediate results of what it feels like when we're not having to do anything, yet we're just having a good time, and the good things to follow. We were in the presence or in the frequency of receiving from the ritual. We did it one time.
Right.
And from that, what opened my eyes, y'all, because I struggled with belief. There's some of us out there that has struggled with belief, faith, all of those things. And that's what I struggled in. Many creations. Koni, I have many creations together and many individual creations together, but it takes literally the belief, that thing is going to happen. A little bit of doubt is going to knock out that mustard seed of faith. So from her explanation of how the day was, she described it as eternal outpouring of goodness. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this is truth. I couldn't deny the words that she was saying. I just was hyper present to it. And I was like, oh my gosh, we did a thing and the result was here. And honey, belief set in. And from the day forward, mind you, we've been practicing ritual, getting up, meditation. We've been doing this
for years,
on and off for years, and it finally clicked. It finally clicked, and it's truly so easy. We love getting up in the morning and just setting our intentions and setting in meditation together.
Yeah, can I say this real quick?
Please, I'm done.
So no, don't be done. But what came to me was what I mentioned earlier. I'm like, when we were in meditation, because it's on and off, but it's more like creating your heaven on earth and then preparing for it. Remember how I had that download?
Did, yeah.
And that's what it's like. So when we were on, you know what I'm saying, in our meditation, in our morning rituals, and just really being mindful with ourselves and setting the intention to connect more often.
Yes.
We were in our heaven. Like heaven was in our home. It was on our earth. It was just amazing all the way around. And we've had many of those seasons. Like you said, it's like on and off, right? And so now, getting back into it, it's like an on, and definitely because we understand the how. We understand like the part that it plays.
Correct.
What happened?
No, keep going.
Oh, did something happen?
It looked like it, but it's fine. But yeah. The example was absolutely wonderful. Right?
Yeah. So let's go back to there was so many layers in this experience, y'all. And I guess we're sharing this story because a lot of us are in these experiences, and it's as small as this. It's not when you think about it and you take yourself out of it, you take your power back and you shrink it. It's not as big of a deal as you think it is, as you feel it is. You know what I'm saying? And so with this experience, we were given the opportunity. We didn't know this, but it happened. You know what? It just came back. You set the intention for us to get back to the ritual. In the first 2 weeks, you said, let's focus on ego.
There we go.
Checking ego.
There we go.
Back. Y'all, this is one thing about us. We
there you go.
Around, but we will always get back.
Always get back home.
Always get back home. Okay?
That part.
So yes. So you was like, you know what? First of all, now that we're getting back into our connection bag, let's set the intention to check our ego, meaning any opportunities where we feel ego is trying to run the show, we're checking. We're checking that bitch. We're checking her because she needs to be checked. You know what I'm saying? Like ego is the one that's keeping you from, doing the things that you actually want to do, and that's going to position you to get what you want. I'm calling myself out here. You know what I'm saying? And so, yeah, you set the intention for us to ego check with the ritual, and that's what's been going on. That whole day was eternal outpouring of goodness because we all were checking our egos. We all was our highest version.
Let's not forget that. Yes.
Okay, like Kimmy, when I say Kimmy was showing leadership skills, like, this is my child. Like, I forgot. Yeah, this is my child. Absolutely. I'm going to want to see more of this because I love that. And so, and just even the sweetness that we shared together with her, and like just riding our bikes outside of the park and just doing, I feel like these are core memories. You know what I'm saying? Like she's probably going to remember that time that we rode all in the streets to get to another park on our bikes, And so just those things, those experiences to me is what was so sweet about that day. And I guess we're sharing this with you guys because you have access to this too. If you're listening to this podcast, if you rock with us, then it's an absolutely yes. Like you are a tribe, y'all. We are going through very similar experiences. Absolutely, y'all already know the routine that works best for you. It's that you're just not present to the results because of the pain. The pain takes up a lot of the space, But on the other side of the release, we're alchemizing that pain. So you're not feeling anxiety no more. You may be feeling electricity. I learned that today. There you go. It may be electricity going through your body. Yes. You know what I'm saying? It may be excitement. You know what I'm saying? It may be adventure. It may be any other thing that is like a high vibration. May not be anxiety no more. Yes. Right? Yeah. So the experience came within us setting that intention with our morning ritual, and having the opportunities to check our ego, and then for it to be aligned with the super full moon in Aries, bro. I had no clue. Come on, unplanned. I'm not gonna say had no clue. Let's say unplanned. It was unplanned. Unplanned. We knew that it's a cycle. We know, but we didn't. We didn't plan it at all. We just did. Yeah. And it was very powerful. Prompted to. It was very powerful, and like things are just moving in a beautiful way, and it's so much peace and calm in my nervous system. Like if you want to know like what's a result that I can tell you that you may be looking for, no, matter of fact, you're looking for it. You're searching, you're seeking for the regulation. Yes. You want your body to be out of fight or flight. Yes. And this is how you do it. This is what it looks like, if it aligns with you, integrate with it, make it yours, And so the technique, you brought it up. This is a tool that one of many, many beautiful tools that we love to utilize. It's so easy. It's our number one. AAOC, 4 Pillars of Alchemy, awareness, right? Remember we told you earlier, we became aware of the charge. What is it? What is the emotion? What is this? Yeah. And then the acknowledgement was us checking our egos. You know what I'm saying? Allowing the ego to express, but also putting it in its place. And then we observed how and why things transpired. We were able to see from an aerial view what was really going on. Oh, okay. There's certain factors playing out in the economy right now that are now triggering people to feel lack. It's an energy grabber. Shout out to Professor Melanie. She was telling us about this. And so people are on edge right now, y'all. Family, people are on edge right now. And so you cannot take their projections and internalize it. Yes. You can't do that. You have to alchemize it. You do have to do something with it because you're an empath. You're sensitive to it. Energy doesn't die. So once you feel it, what are you going to do with it? What are you going to do with it? And so, so the observation piece and then the choice. Aligned solutions. How are we going to behave? How are we going to move forward? What does that look like? Is it in support of the highest version of myself? Is it in support of unconditional love and ultimate forgiveness? Is it in support of my desires? That type of thinking, y'all, is what we are on to, that's contributing to us feeling peace, feeling regulated. Absolutely. Not being in fight or flight, not worrying, not stressing, not doing too much and not creating any results. Like, y'all know the vibes. Absolutely. You aren't going to hear the AAOC in the majority of our seasons, you guys. So, check those seasons out to see exactly what, the examples we utilize then when we were actually in it, and how we utilize the tool to get us out of it. So that's amazing right there. And I was going to say this too, y'all, if there's all this talk about ego, let's put this in perspective. If ego, like, what does ego mean to you? Like, if ego was a person, who is ego? Ego is the one that is going to tell you all the things that that is wrong, all the reasons why not to go down that road, all the reasons why it's a bad idea, all the reasons why the meditation is not working, all of that. That's ego, right? Because ego, regardless, it's not about getting rid of ego or whatever. It is finding a healthy balance. Ego also is integrating with it, period. Right? What we do, we give names to our other buddy ego. Okay. So that's another thing, is naming or acknowledging your ego. So we know who that person is, and right. And the thing is
we can declare no more for those thought processes to take place. We can claim like, no, this is not how it is. This is not what I believe. This is not what people are expressing to me. And you can begin to take back your power and begin to diminish ego, right? To begin to say, hey, sit in the back seat. All right. And then you will begin to operate more out of the things that you want to do. Do it scared. If you're going to do it scared. Ego's going to try to talk you out of it. Ego's going to say, we done did this before. What you going, you failed the last time, blah, 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 all this other stuff. Oh, failure. I know you. Yes. I knew she was going to move into this one, but that was it. You all naming ego, like, literally just seeing what ego is.
Exactly.
Failure. Real quick.
Failure means that, failure doesn't mean that it wasn't successful. Failure means that it wasn't for you.
That's all it is. I
heard that message today. Shout out to Energy. And it just really shifted my own perspective for myself, because I definitely was like, ooh, failure is okay, she here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
She here. But the perspective on failure was really liberating.
Yeah. And that's, it's facts. It's like you failed, not because you were terrible at it, or it's just, it wasn't for you. That's it. It's, the universe is saying, do something, redirect. That's it. This is not the end of the world. It's not the end of the world. Do something different. Reinvent yourself. Basically.
Yeah. So that was dope.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. So what an episode, right?
Listen, I'm looking forward to many more of these conversations, laughing, and really just teaching. Really just teaching and sharing. Exactly.
Sharing what we're doing. Because it's working for us. We're learning. We're investing. We're researching. And we're just sharing with you. We're just sharing with you what we are discovering. You know what I mean?
For ourselves.
There's no judgment in this space. There's no ridicule. There's only unconditional love and ultimate forgiveness. Like the goal is to evolve, so that we can actually experience, life without the pain, without the chronic pain.
Absolutely.
So yeah, I'm excited. So quick little announcements, you guys. For those of you who are local in the Tampa Bay area, shout out to Sound, Mind, and Body Wellness. We do offer holistic services so that you can feel better, such as therapeutic massage. We are now fully mobile, which we are super excited about. We have some exciting news for 2025 that we are not going to expose just yet, but we will keep you posted. But feel free to visit our site and take advantage of all the offerings that we have available so that you can regulate your nervous system.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? And yeah, that's it. Yeah. This was so much fun.
This was so much fun, right?
On that note, please, guys, if you love this conversation, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.
Absolutely.
And if you don't mind, leave us a review. Leave your experience down below. Share your thoughts with us.
Please.
You know what I'm saying? Let's continue the conversation.
Ask questions.
Yeah, and let's continue. Yeah, let's just do it together.
I love that.
All right, so on that note, we're going to
begin the day with love.
Fill the day with love.
End the day with love. Peace.